Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Oyar, and in this video I'm gonna use all the SOAP node manually, and I'm gonna create WSDl for my SOAP service, for my web service. So before we create the web service, let's learn about the SOAP. What is SOAP? If you come on a W3 school, there's such a brief information you could learn on this site. Just come to w3school.com. So first let's start with what is SOAP. SOAP is a simple object access protocol, is application communicate protocol. SOAP is a format for sending and receive message, and is a platform independent, is a XML based SOAP is a XML based So the question is, why SOAP? It is important for a web application to be able to communicate over internet. So we're using a web service because it enable us to communicate with, enable client communicate with a server. Like the page is right here, because we put a request, server provide this information for us. Probably there would be on a cloud anywhere, or might be using whatever system they use, because the web service, they will enable us to communicate with the server. So that why is important. It will enable us to communicate over internet. The best way to communicate between application over HTTP, and HTTP support all internet browser and service. SOAP was created to accomplish this as well. SOAP provides a way to communicate between applications running on a different operating system with a different technology and programming language. So we have let me bring the SOAP based message. This is a SOAP based message, because how we know it? Once we say envelope, SOAP envelope, that defined as a SOAP based message, and is also written on XML as a starting tag and ending tag. So what we do, we will create this SOAP based message. We will have a player information request. On that player information request, we will have a player ID, name, date of birth, nationality, position, and background check, and grade. That's all. And what this will does, we will send that SOAP based message to our application. On application, we will check the player information if the players exist. If it's not exist, we will insert it to this database. But if it exists, we will check if the background is approved or pending or reject. If it's pending, we will not add it to our list, like our team list, because he's not a good player. And also we will check his position. Is he playing on a forward, middle position, or defender? So how good he play, all those sort of information. We will create our 11 people team. So we will do that. But let's focus back on a web service. So what the SOAP based message has, it is first is a XML document contain the following element. If you see XML based on XML, starting tag, ending tag, each as a label, starting label and ending label must be the same. And also when you say envelope, there's a SOAP, and also you say envelope element that identify the XML document as a SOAP. This envelope document, because this indicate that is a SOAP message. And we have a header, and this is a mandatory, must be right here. This tag, when it starts, it must be right here, become a SOAP message. If it's not, then it's not SOAP message. This is the header. Header is always optional. We have a header. This is the header. There's nothing in it. The starting and ending tag is a one information, no information right here, but it's optional. You could keep it or not. You could have it or not. It's up to you. And body element, we have a body element which has all the data in it. There's a mandatory, an element that contain the header info, a body element that contain all the call and respond information. We have a fault where the exception, error happening, and this is also optional. So on a SOAP, you must have this those type of stuff. And so this is some rule need to follow. SOAP message must be encoded with XML. SOAP message must be used as SOAP message envelope namespace. SOAP message would not use the document data or a document data reference. SOAP message would not use the SOAP message not contain the XML processing instruction. So, and this is the skeleton. Again, I show you the real, but they are just create the kind of fake one envelope. You just put all the namespace, URL, and stop right here. And we have a headers optional, we have a body, and we have fault. And if you want to learn more, you could come and like below that they just give you an example and re-explain same thing. Like they explain the envelope element, that it is a root element of SOAP message. This element define the XML document as a SOAP, and they give you like as a version. This is like a declaration of version and XML. And SOAP we say envelope. When that's why it defined that become a SOAP base message. And we have a XML namespace is a SOAP, and this URL indicate this namespace belong to those. And also we have a encoding. And names you could they explain it back. You come right here and read it. They give a good explanation. This is also optional. What the header element contain application specific information like authentication, payment, etc. about the SOAP message, but it's optional. You could add it, but if you want to make it mandatory, you could make it also mandatory. You need to use some attribute like this type of attribute. And this is the example. There's a let's go and encoding. I'm sure you guys know about encoding. Body has all the call and response is a mandatory, and we have and right here on a fault. I just like some when I say fault code, this code is to identify fault. Let's say for example I'm requesting this page. If this page is good, everything is come up, the replay would come back with a number, and that number will be 200, like everything is went fine. So this is like a fault code. That means like they will send you back a number. That number would say something. It is kind of language with that numbers that with this code is identify. And we have a fault string. It's a human readable. Let's say something happened. Like I send a just like there's a let's say I send a string, but it requests integer when its data is mismatching. So you would see, you could write your false string right here. It says data is mismatching something. So that way human know what is going on with my web services. And we have the reason why it caused that happen. What thing caused the error and more detail. Those is the code. It's a version mismatch. Find envelope namespace for the SOAP. You could come and read more. And HTTP mainly use the TCP like to communicate over TCP, but on you could read that one. There's a like HTTP communicate over TCP IP, and HTTP client to connect to HTTP server using TCP. After establishing connection, the client can use the HTTP request message, those one, and see everything went fine. This code they will come right now. But what about SOAP? What they communicate? So they using kind of banding. You could come and read it because we know HTTP use TCP. What about SOAP? SOAP using banding. The SOAP specification defined, but still they use the HTTP. You see, to HTTP synchronize, and while you use on a SOAP HTTP request specific at least 2 HTTP header content type and content link. You could come right here and read more about that. But let's go to WSDl right now. WSDl is an abbreviation of a web service descripting language. But usually we say WSDl, but there's a WSDl. WSDL or WSDl. WSDl used to describe the web service. It is a document that describes the web service. It is XML based document that describes the web service. This is the WSDl. WSDl written in XML. So WSDl is a document describe a web service. It specifies location of the service and method of the service using the major element. Let me point you something, because this is the WSDl. If I could bring something, just double click, see WSDl. This is my WSDl. So this you see is written on a this one describe my service, the service I'm see the describe my this service, like for example the ID is integer type. They will tell you this integer type is a complex, non-complex, like all the stuff will be there. Just double click on your application, come to WSDl, you will see it. Message type, you just come and see all your stuff. Port number, port type. Let's read about the WSDl has each those one bending port. What is that? On a WSDl, which I have it right here, let me make it smaller, that way you see it. See, on a WSDl we have a types. Type define the XML schema data type used by the web service. So this type, and that would be all type of data types used by the web service. That will define a data type on the web service, this section. But the message section define the element for each operation. On this section we have a 3 message section. This will define the element for the operation. You could come and open and see, and if you let's make it bigger, you could come and read it. You see they say N, because we have a service that has a request. See, they say N, that has a request, and we say play information out, that this is a response. They say play information false, this is an error code, like exception stuff information would be right here. So that's define the element for the operation. N, out, because request, response, and exception. Define the data element for each operation. What about port type? Describe the operation that can be performed and message involved. We have this is, you see, this is a port type. If you open it, that describe the operation that can be performed. This will describe the operation, whatever operation you create. You see this operation we create, they will describe it right here. And we have a banding, define the protocol and data format. If you just minimize that, we have a, you see right here, banding, that will describe protocol and data format. You could come and read it. The all type of protocol and data format will be right here. So it has like WSDl has a 4 section. Types is a data type, message is the element for each operation, and port describe the operation, and this is a protocol and data type as a 4 section. Is divided by 4 section, you could say that. The main structure of this is the it look like, but I already show you definition, type, message, port, and bending. You could come and read more about it, and this is the example they're giving you how to create it. And if you want to read more, you could come and read more. We have a different way of WSDl. One way to just operation can receive message but without not returning response. Request response, the operation can receive a request and return the response. So right now we know it like request that much about WSDl. Like one way is we now gonna create, we will create request and response. We will request, then respond, we want the response back. We will create this one. But solar side response, the operation can send a request and will wait for the response. The notification, the operation can send a message but will not wait for response. You could come and read, and they will show you with example. It's a good practice. And let's go to our server how to create since right now is because we don't know how WSDl to use right here, that's why it show the error for us. But how should we create the WSDl? Let me delete that one. Now I delete everything, clean it. And if you want to create WSDl, we will go to the other, or you just say Control N because we want to use master set. You just click and name it. I say player information. You could name it anything. Player information. You could pick the location where you want to save it. And if you have a master set, you could get it from there. But since I don't have a master set, I just want to create it from beginning. Say next. This time we will pick up web services and say next, then finish. Now we create a master set. So we come to our master set because master set is not a container. Once you create it, it will come to independent resource section. You just come and click on master definition, say new. This time we say master definition file. We name them our master definition file. You could name them anything. You could give them a small name. And you could pick the prefix. This is the prefix we use, and use the target namespace. Let me use the M only, and I just want to use MM. Also, I want to use my URL M unit Muhammad. Like my name is Mahmatullah Mayar. I want to use M. And also I want to use prefix. That would be my namespace. Prefix is a M only. So just pay attention, you will see that one. And say finish. Now we have the master definition. So on that we're gonna create all the complex type first. Let's say I wanna create request player. I will say player info request, and also I want to create another. I say player info response, and I want to create the exception to fault, like if something happens. So three things: player info request, player info response, and fault. So we're gonna add that to the say add message from global environment right here to the element and attribute, and second one as well, and third one. So we want to create all the like element, like name, last name, player ID. We want to create all this one. I want to create that one. I say click and say add global element and name it. This is the integer. I want to use integer. And the second is copy. You could name different thing, but it's better I want those name. And just create all the element. You could bring changes on that element. Right now you will see it. You could change it, like make a string, boolean, anything. I want to pick the background check. And what happened? Background data. You could pick that. And we want to add like what, and also I want to add message, and also I want to add position, because if you come right here, I want to create same thing that I created right here. I want to add position as well, and also I want to add grade. So just right now I want to reference those all right here. I just said add as a reference. First I want to start it with the player ID and ref name, then player name, date of birth. I want to use date of birth, then what else? Date of birth, player ID. Let's say position, nationality. I want to use national position. I want to use position work. Background check. I want to use background check date. That would be on my request section, like all that would show on my request. I think nothing left right here. Great. So I think 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, I think almost all the info. And grade I want to use how good they play. I've just grade them 1 2 or A B C D something. So this is my request. And one more thing, you see, this is I want to make it optional. You come to review and just say 0. When becomes 0, like it's a minimum, like it had to be 0, and max is unlimited. Let me do it and come back. So on a fault, I want to add two things. If you go back to the website, you come to SOAP. I want to code up my exception, whatever happen on to my element code, and I want to create string. I don't want to that two thing. You could create more to it, but I want to just create this two. Fine. And I want to add it to my reference. So code, and I want to use the so now I reference it everything, like all the element I create, I reference it to my complex data. There's a player request, and I have a player response start with a message, then all the information back, and everything I make it optional, like minimum occurrence 0. When you say -1, the mean unlimited. You could send him unlimited message, like each section say message, player ID, all of them is unlimited and is optional. Like you could send him 0 or unlimited, it's up to you. And everything I become 0 or unlimited, because that way sometimes it cause a lot of issue. If I don't want to send tag or anything, or the tag is not coming, they will mess up my code. So that's why I make it, I think all over the place in job they will create this stuff optional. You will see it, but that's why I made it right here optional. You feel it like in real life. So probably there is some places that some stuff is not optional, and that you could make that one. So we have right now all that. So right now let's create WSDl from that. Now we create our, see, we create the, it's already referenced it right here. So we create it right here, it created a message as well. So what we do, if we want to create a WSDl from it, we come to our message definition to this and click on that. It says generate WSDl. You say next and you pick that one. You could give the money name, right? Select the message save folder from which this is the message save folder which I created. We will generate the WSDl from it. Now you could generate as a single WSDl file or inline. If you remember, we create the integration code and we copy inline, so this way is better because it will come with everything. And the message namespace, we create M only. You see the M only, I will pick that one right now. And you could name your definition file. I will leave it like that, player info master, your definition file. So say next, give them the operation name. Now I will specify, say player info. I will name them player info. I will say request, and that would be request, that would be let's say info, player info request and response. You pick that this one, you see we pick them request and response. You could make them one way solo side response notification. We already know what those doing. One way will not have a response. You see, don't have a response, only request would come. So let's say we pick request and response. So the request information we put it to input, the response information we put it to output, and the fault we pick the fault. And you could create another two, but I don't want to create it. How should I delete it back? So you could just click right here, they will delete. See, delete the separation. We have this only one, and say next. And also you check right here, input message, this input, this output message, this our output message. The operation type is request and response. Next, we gave them a service name. I will make it that much. My service name and port number. You could give them any. I will keep this one. You could give the money name. Do nothing, leave it blank, soup action, and I will make it player info. Next, right now they gave us like a brief what we did, like what we create. You could want to read it, something is wrong, then fix it. Right now we create WSDl. You could copy that one to somewhere, or you could even right now you have everything. You could add this everything to what do you call, to the a library and use it. Let's go to this location, because this location what has my WSDl file. Copy and paste and runtime. Now we have a WSDl file. I will copy that one. I will paste it on a startup document folder, new folder. I will paste it right here. You could paste and copy this location, that way we import it. Let's come back and delete that one because I created before. And say soap, you just say soap, you just browse, and you could drop the location right here. They will open it for you. Now you will pick it, our WSDl file, and name it anything. It's a player info. You could create your testing suite. I don't want it. Let's now open it. Now we have our, you see, now we have a our SOAP-based message. If you check right here, you see our namespace prefix is M. Also use our namespace URL right here, like I created, as it says that this belong to this one, which is we created that. So under the SOAP, the indicator is a SOAP-based message, a first tag, and we have a header, nothing in it. And body, all stop is mandatory. If you click on that, you could create let's create mock service. You will see the response. This is the response. First the message coming if this player is accepting and the team or not, because of the background is pending or not good, like those information would come too. So let's use it on our application. You just click, come to property, let's make it bigger. Because it gave us like a WSDl file name, value must be added. Either you just invoke it, the error will gone, or you need to give them the WSDl file. Just say browse and say import and say browse. It says select file and browse. Now you give them the file location. You pick them, because I already used that one, that's why it is still showing right here. So you pick and OK. All that will come right here: port type, bending, service type, target, and HTTP. So now we have a WSDl. Save it. The problem is gone. So we will use that one right now. You could add the WSDl to the library. Just create a library, add it to it. So that way. So I will see you on the next video. So we will create a scenario on this tree. So see you on the next video.